That's right. I gotta find a way to get a rig my light. Because I broke that shit on accident the other night. Yeah. I'll try this and hopefully it works. And if it don't, well then I'm just furked. Fucker. What's up, Aries? My fucking filming light broke. Usually there's a clip that gets into the back, so I'm trying to ghetto rig this somehow. And how I do not know. We're gonna get creative with it, I think. I got some Velcro. I'm optimistic. There we go. Perf. It's great, but not amazing. Yeah. Could be better. Could be better. There we go. How's your weekend been? Love you too, sweetie. My spoon is a knife. It's true. I'm about to be going live here for a while. I'm also going to start looking at camping spots that I'm going to consider for the meet and greet that's going on this summer. I think in July. It's such a small spoon. And yes, I do have Paw Patrol playing in the background. I don't know what it is. My sinus is all fucked up. just be the weather changing. Could be allergies. Could be Mark. What's up? Eating cereal, bro. More so just drinking the milk now, but gang. I got some Paw Patrol in the background if it's that loud, because Nova just got picked up by her mom, so I don't need to have that on the background. But and like I was saying, yes, the spoon I was using is a knife. Love that shit. Got yourself a spoon, a fork, little tarnished. It gets the job done. And you got yourself a knife. Not the best knife, but you know what? A knife nevertheless. In a pinch, it would probably do some justice. And it's wicked sharp. That's what I like when you have like really thick blades that just perfectly come to a point. Because usually when you have thicker knives, it's like an awkward transition into the blade tip or point itself. By the way, any vapors out there, if you can get this incredible flavor, it's called Sour Gush. Lightweight. Ooh, dude, is that so? I don't know what it is, but there is it might be a Spyderco, but it's like a butterfly knife that looks like an OTF, and it's got like an internal handle or something. Yeah, I think I got that one from Walmart. I'm pretty sure that's an Ozark, that knife right there. But I also want to say that shit. Let me make sure that I actually have some juice on this light. Fucking broke my light the other day, so I have to like use a Velcro pad. Dude, you know what's wild? My Boba Fett mini, I sold that. So somebody has a Maztec original fucking Trudon, the mini Trudon that I had. Yep, sold that one. I was in a pinch, dude. Otherwise, I would have never got rid of that fucking thing. Especially since it has my company logo. Well, it's not even a company. It's not even LLC, but I fucking should. Um, yeah, yeah. That knife was like $500, and it was this big. So cool. I've owned a few Spydercos. I've owned a lot more clones than anything. And like, here's my thing: Spyderco is a good knife, or is a good knife brand. Microtech is a that's what I'm talking about. Microtech. I've owned a ton of Microtechs. I've also owned a ton of clones, or a few Microtechs, a ton of clones, and they're great knives. It's just, in my opinion, that price point I just can't justify in any way, shape, or form. Especially when you can get something of the same materials pumped out of China on AliExpress. You know, dude, I love Boba Fett. I'm pretty sure you've seen my tattoo on my fucking leg that I did. And if not, I'll show you again. It's not the best quality, but there was some color there at some point. And I got Earthworm Jim, Thug Life in it. I slept all fucked up yesterday. Yeah, Boba Fett I love, dude. If I could, I would definitely have the armor, and then I would just go shopping at like Walmart like that, dressed up as Boba Fett, and then like somebody mean mug me, I would just go like this and fire the fucking rocket at them. Hell yeah, dude. You need to make a fucking YouTube, Mark, so I can see your stuff. If you collect stuff, you could just make a YouTube that's on like nerdy stuff if that's what you wanted. You could do, and here's the thing: people don't want to start YouTubes because they're like, I don't have a concept. You'll find one, dude. Trust me. You're gonna make a video that's gonna blow up, and you're gonna have to analyze that video and what people were into about that video. You know, that's why I think you should have a fucking YouTube just to do it. Because how many people do you think fucking started vines and stuff like that, thinking they were gonna make millions? Probably none. Hoping maybe, but they did it for fun, and they ended up making it, dude. It's really like, in reality, this channel does not take a lot to run at all. And to even start a channel, all you need is a camera. Better yet, just have a fucking phone with camera capabilities. You know, it's not hard. If you guys want to like do stuff and show off, like that's the reason I wanted to do it. I had cool shit and I wanted to show it off because I didn't have friends in this state that were like minded like me and liked the same stuff as me. So I was like, hey, maybe I could draw some people in. You know, shut up, shut up. Start a channel. Let me see it. What up, Nanya? Um, that's cool as fuck. What did it run you? Is my question. I want to know the price point of fucking some Beskar. Is this also not the longest cart you've ever seen? It doesn't look long, but I promise you, it is like a 50 BMG cart. And this is also the first time I've ever seen anything. I don't know if I'm a. Let me check real quick, see if I have a small one in comparison. Yes, I did. Regular cart. Massive cart. What's the difference? Flavor? Um, no, this is. Let me check. Blueberry Kush. Indica. Supposedly. This is a. I want to say it's 2. It says 2 grams. But yeah, just in comparison, I'm like, that's a fucking monster card, dude. That's not bad, dude. That's not bad. To look like your hero? You know what pisses me off even fucking more, dude? My baby mom, Nova's mom, is in love with Pedro Pascal, the guy who plays fucking Boba Fett. Or no, who I think he plays the Mandalorian, if I'm not mistaken. Dude, even if this one didn't work, I would get it again just based on flavor. It's got like a blue dream kind of feel to it. Ooh. Ooh, okay, I gotta move that glass card away from the bang bang zone. Okay. You bastard. We're not friends anymore! Nice. Yeah, that is a huge card. Mark, another thing we should start doing? Knife sheaths. I'm joking. There's tons of people that do that. It's probably very gratifying work, honestly. Just leather work always seems like it would be so cool. Like just the branding. This had a flip over, but I annihilated it just to get myself a classy. As gay as it sounds, when I got into balisongs, I would wear a new. I'd have a new balisong on me every day, and these are the sheaths that I was using. You can't tell what the fuck's in this. So it didn't matter what was in my fucking balisong case. You couldn't see it. Yeah, that is a Black Hawk cart for sure. I've had one that's shorter but wider. The sluggers. I don't even know where I'd find that, to be honest with you. And now the fucking what's it called? The nitrous is like blowing up over here where I'm at now in Watertown. I'm like, that's surprising. It's not something I would have guessed would have made its way down yonder. It's a good case. Um, the last one I got was a Muha, and it was all right. Um, but I don't know, dude. Like with carts, it's so hit or miss, and it's so frustrating, dude, because like they're not cheap. Um, it's I don't know. It's same thing with vapes, dude. Like vape is it's gonna have nicotine. Some are more, some are less. If you have a vape that you can make a cell phone call on, it's going to sell to idiots. I'm not buying vapes to call people or use it as an Apple Watch and tape it to my wrist. You know. Um, I think I might have seen that honestly. I follow so many fucking knife channels on YouTube, so like I see so many crazy new knives, and I always feel like if I repost the ones that I like, I'm gonna look like a douchebag because I'm taking another video from another knife content creator, you know? So like that's the only reason I don't do that shit. But there are so many badass concepts that are coming out this year. A lot of cool ones. Alan Gaines, what's up? Easy. The same mechanism that you would have inside of a there's these things called spark pads that you I used to buy them when I first started skateboarding because you'd get them from like the CCS magazine, and it was like a little skateboarding magazine that everybody got for free once a month, and I used to get excited for that. But they had these little things that were about this big. It was a little plastic thing that was kind of curved, like a horseshoe kind of, and it had one, two, three, four, five, six little black pads on there. So it's a plastic thing with these six black, they look like rock glued on there. And I think what it was is carbon or some sort of material that so they give you two little screws. So you have to screw this thing into your skateboard. It's not like really fucking it up, but I mean, it's gonna make it not as safe, I guess. But when you put the tail down, it would shoot fucking sparks out. The bad side of that is it costed like $25. I saved up for like 2 weeks or something when I got it. But it goes quick. A lot of people that do luge, like longboarding and like stuff like that, they have them on their gloves. So it's a very cool visual effect. Like I'm a big fan of that stuff. Pyro anything. I think most guys are low key pyromaniacs. You know. But you would have to have like a knife. First off, your knife and your handles would have to be separate materials. There would have to be, um, I think because there's swords that start on fire once they're unsheathed. And I think that's because there's a liquid inside of the sheath, and then there's a striker or sparking mechanism. It could be as simple as static electricity from that sheath. You know, I have no idea. Um, I would assume a lot of that has to do with physics, which I, my friend, am no brainer at. Um, that would be cool though, having a knife that like sparked when you opened it. Unless there was, God, I don't know, because if you have like a striker on a like a Zippo or like a regular lighter, it wouldn't be obtuse to think that if you had like strikers inside the pivots of some sort, with the knife being a certain type of material that is can I don't know. You could even use electricity, like I said, or static or something like that. But I think it would be you could suck with a battle song. If it starts on fire, it's gonna get views. Okay, that's like people trying to make uh, butane hash oil in their fucking parents' kitchen, and the whole thing fucking explodes because they don't know how to purge anything, and they put it directly on a sort like a heat source. So if you've got glass, a Pyrex glass full of condensed gas that is now in liquid form, and you have to cook that gas off. You don't want to put it directly on fucking fire, even if you have an electric stove. It doesn't matter. You put that inside of water. It's called purging, and that's the way. That is the way. This is the way. No, the tricks would be badass. There's a black dude who I see come across like he pops up on Instagram now, or I think I see him more so on Instagram. He looks super buff. He's like super tall. But he is always doing like crazy behind the back shit, not even looking, like how I can do my parabolics without looking. He does crazy shit without looking, and I'm like a little jelly belly, you know, little jelly hurts my insides, just like prison. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There would have to be like if you had like an all flint knife and you had like some kind of steel, like you could make a spark, but I don't know, because even when you're flipping, like when your knife is open, nothing's touching anything except the pivots. You know what I'm saying? When you're flipping, very seldom when you're flipping does this go back in. So it's not that it's not doable. You would just have to have a immaculate way to get it done. I hate allergies. But I mean, I think that it would be a cool idea. I feel like it would be really hard to sell that, especially. I mean, it would look cool because you would have to advertise with videos of somebody doing tricks with it, obviously, push that product. But when somebody gets it home and their house is made of wool or they own sheep and they spark one sheep on fire and now the whole town's on fire, I don't know. I can just see that going bad. But I would buy one. Just saying. And that's because I personally love to promote my subscribers when they have like information or like if you guys have products that you want to sell, dude, never hesitate to fucking tell me. I will absolutely free of charge fucking advertise your shit. You want to throw me one of whatever your product is? Awesome, cool. I just like to fucking put people out there because like I hope one day I come across the right person that does that for me. So I can put somebody in the right zone, and help them potentially. That's the whole reason I give advice on YouTube if people want to start them because I didn't have that. I had to do all my own research and watch enough of it to kind of have an idea how to navigate the system of YouTube and the algorithm and whatnot, but it's still a pain in the ass because obviously I'm still not getting paid by YouTube. So it is what it is. But I'm also not a Logan Paul with millions of fucking subscribers either. I don't have a product that I sell. I don't have a merch website or anything like that. I don't have a team. That's the whole reason I have moderators is because when this shit hopefully does blow up, if you're a fucking moderator, guess who's in the running to be hired? Like I don't plan to stay in one spot if shit blows up. I'd like to either go to honestly, if I had the choice, I'd want to go where it's warm, but like man, I don't know. I don't even know where I would move. I'd like to say California, but there's no fucking way in hell that I'd ever want to live in California. You can get that weather in Bali if you wanted. Might get a few earthquakes, maybe a tornado or a monsoon or two, but I don't know, dude. Like ideally, all I want is a little bit of land and a cabin, and I'll be happy. That's it. Garden, maybe a couple cute cows that I can talk to when I'm lonely, and cows are just fucking adorable. They're fucking farm dogs. That's all they are. Big fucking goofy, lovable pups. Um, Definitely want some ducks. Ducks are cute as fuck too. I love ducks. Um, and what I would do is probably like get into woodworking, something like that, like carving. Maybe do some like what I would like to do too is try get some like wood handles because in that instance it would be beneficial for certain people that have a blade to handle ratio bias kind of a vibe. And Florida is beautiful, but the thing with Florida, I hear, and that's where JJ Cree, he is Bally Jesus. He does tons of customs on Balisongs and other knives. If you guys have Instagram, Facebook, anything like that, go follow that guy because he is a legend, dude, fucking legend, um, and a fucking stud. But yeah, I guess Florida would be cool. I just know that there's a lot of crime in Florida. However, if I was going to Florida, I would go to like the Bayou-esque area of Florida where like no one goes. Um, there's a place that I just saw not too long ago. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. I mean, I love steak. I had fucking sirloin yesterday and smashed baby potatoes. It was fucking incredible. But I guess like Florida would be cool. But again, if I had like cows and stuff like that, it wouldn't be to like butcher them. It would be like just to have cows. Like maybe milk, ducks, like for eggs and just to have fucking ducks. I don't know. I guess I would probably eat duck. But like I'm not gonna name stuff that I'm gonna fucking kill and then eat. That's like kind of fucked in my head. I mean, I know that's like the old school way of living, and like we're all prissy compared to fucking the Neanderthals used to fucking walk these same streets, or in that case, rubble roads. Um, but I've seen the Flintstones, and that shit looks good when you're eating a T-bone that's like this big, or a fucking pterodactyl wing. Like, come on, Florida would be really cool to move though. I've been to Miami, and that was like when we went on the cruise. And that's a thing too, guys. Like I do have footage on this YouTube, I believe, of when I was on the cruise. When I was in Miami, I know that I went live with my sister's husband. We were just roaming around. I was fucking trashed, trashed. Then we got slices of pizza that were fucking massive, dude. Um, so drunk. I ended up sleeping on the floor. Got into an argument with Noah's mom. I think it was like over jealousy. Like I was spending time with my sister's husband on the cruise. I don't know. It was just like a weird situation. It's over with, but that was a cool experience. It sucked getting COVID on the cruise on the last 2 days, but really really beautiful in Florida. It's just like wet a lot, you know. But when you're that close to water, it's kind of gonna come with the territory. And if you don't know that going into it, don't go to Florida. Another thing that deters people from Florida is the wildlife. Iguanas would be one of the main reasons I would love to live in Florida. I like lizards, but you know what I like more? Pellet guns. And you know what you get to do? Hunt fucking iguanas. What? And they pay you? Word? What? Because they're invasive as fuck. And that'd be the coolest job in the world, I think, is hunting ass in the day and lizards at night. Or no, I got that backwards. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how I'd get away with having a cabin in Florida, though. That'd be some moldy wood really quick, you know? I feel like if I did it, I would have to. I'm trying to remember where the place is. Like it's very unpopulated, the place in Florida that I'm thinking of. And I just saw like a thing on Facebook Reels. It was maybe like a documentary somebody was making about like Florida and the more I don't know, but it looked like heaven. It was just beautiful, super beautiful. 8 pools, geez, that does not surprise me. I'm trying to remember what hotel we slept at in Miami. I just remember we were up high in the hotel and I remember looking down and seeing 3 homeless people sleeping on the roof below us. That was cool. We also saw a homeless dude across the street underneath an overpass, sleeping in a hospital bed under the overpass. Meaning he took the whole fucking hospital bed, wires and all. Probably had the IV still attached to him, and he was just chilling. He wasn't in like scrubs or like hospital attire either. Like this dude was comfortable living there in the hospital bed that he'd clearly taken. Um, and the funny thing is like we weren't close to a hospital. Yeah, they also had a lot of construction going on in Miami when we were there, and so I think Nova was like 2.5. but really really fun. We had endless drinks or unlimited drinks on the cruise. We had like a wristband or some shit. No, we had a card that they would have to scan, and I didn't get drunk once, but I was also taking Suboxone, which is an alcohol antagonist, I believe, um, where it either doesn't allow you to get drunk or like high on other stuff, and I didn't realize that, so I was just like pounding fucking pina. I love coconut. Love coconut. But and the drinks were really good. But I was convinced they were using shit rum in certain bottles, like kind of a Diddy situation. The old "watch this hand while I, finger young boys." But what they were doing is, dude, yeah, it's one of the hardest things to get off of. One of the hardest things to get off of. Trust me, dude. Um, Even like if I take one, I'll instantly throw up. But then here's the thing: I'll just keep throwing up throughout the day. So it's like even when you get back on them, you're just repeating a cycle. And in my opinion, they need because and don't get me wrong, Suboxone can be good, but it's terrible for your fucking teeth. It'll rot your fucking teeth out. And I took it for like 4 to 5 solid years. And then in the past year, like pretty spotty on and off use, honestly. Um, but I don't consider Suboxone a withdrawal for the main, or not a withdrawal, a relapse for the main reason that it is made to keep you off of other things. And like with some people, Suboxone can get you really fucking high. Um, and with other people, it basically just like flatlines them, not like kills you, but like levels you out essentially, where you just feel normal, how you should feel, and people don't like that. So then they go above and beyond, take a little more. But they were giving me up to 2.5 strips a day. Um, and I know people that were taking four. I know people that'll buy 100 and take 10 at a time, and that's iwi. I couldn't go. But yeah, they were super super hard to get off of, man. I think it's I think they're so hard because I don't think they're as much physical. I know there is some physical addiction there because my whole thing when I would stop is I would have sneezing fits where I would just randomly sneeze and couldn't stop sneezing. And then I would also what else? I would just feel like I would have to throw up all the time. Um, oh no, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. If like you're even when I was doing it beforehand, I was doing it daily. Now, if I were to take one, and let me clarify this because it's very confusing, but in my psychotic drug addict head, it makes sense. So, if I go to the hospital right now with a broken collarbone, they're gonna say, Matt, we're gonna put you on pain meds, and I'm gonna say, no, the fuck, you're not, because I'm a recovering addict. I'm not gonna take that. So, what they would give me is, I don't know, but obviously, if they're going to offer you a pain med, it's to numb you. But if you don't take that, then what are your options to relieve you of pain? Advil and ice, I guess, which means everybody else could have had that done too without just being in pain because pain won't kill you. It sucks, but it won't kill you. At least I don't think. But if I'm a recovering addict who used to take Suboxone daily because he was addicted to Oxycontin, did heroin, everything else, never shot it, but um, so if I go from that to now, if I am in pain, won't seek a painkiller, but I will take a Suboxone, would you consider that a relapse as well? Because what else are my options? You know what I'm saying? I can't just like go to the doctor and have them prescribe me a painkiller when you have people that still get them as a take as needed. It's a rare thing, but it does tend to happen. Um, Mr. Legend, welcome. Subscribe if you're not already, so you enter contests. You can become a moderator as well. I've broken my collarbone, my toe. I've gotten fucked up a lot, but I haven't broken a ton of bones, luckily. And no, you're good, Alan. Um, The sneezing fits was crazy. It's probably my least favorite thing. Um, that and just feeling drained, unmotivated as fuck. Uh, yeah, needle's crazy, dude. Correct. Yeah, that's the whole end goal. So like if I'm taking something like that, it's not because it's oh I'm gonna party tonight or like making sure it's not a daily thing. Here's my outlook. Even as an addict, I think everything is okay in moderation. Maybe not for everybody because not everybody's built the same. Not everybody has the same molecular structure and the same atoms that make us up to be whatever we are. Some people have different vices, I guess. Like I vape. I put a dip pouch in from time to time. I, like we all have our vices. I like to flip knives. Some people like to gamble. I can't justify gambling, spending money, and getting nothing in return. What is addiction? Spending money, getting nothing in return. If anything, you're giving up a lot when you do that stuff. So, um, but when it comes to Suboxone, yeah, you have people that abuse it. That's why police don't like it at all because if and here's the other thing, people are just handing that shit out. If you're a doctor, your job is to make people better, but it's very very clear that doctors are strictly there to make you have a surgery and to prescribe you something. If they can't do one of those two things, that hospital's not going to get money from you. The insurance company won't get paid. So there is a process that people like you could home remedy the fuck out of yourself. You could have yourself a little apothecary set up. And I'd recommend it. Because believe it or not, there wasn't always hospitals and people used to live still. So you have to kind of like think about stuff like that where there's natural remedies, like dandelions, weeds, those are a painkiller. A natural growing painkiller. Is that why we call them weeds? And that's why they say they're bad and to get rid of them? Very well could be. I've never seen a house that had to get demolished because it had too many dandelions. Fuck, there's a fat lady down the street who's got 17 cats. And you can't even see the house because of all the dandelions. That house is still standing, I think. Yeah, this is a fact. They were keeling over, but they were also dying of the fart needles and and queer pox and whatever else they thought was like crazy stuff that would kill them. Yes, Alan, that is the best way. The worst flu and being depressed. Oh, don't forget the crazy anxiety. Yeah, that's the best. I think that's why I'm like so much into battle songs is the fidgetiness to it. Like I'd love to have a $1,700 mini shotgun break barrel fidget spinner, but and that's another thing. Algorithm, stop showing me shit I can't afford. It's not nice. It's not nice. I don't like it. Um, yeah, thank you. I'm glad. Yeah, it was like one of the first things I said. I'm like, I do have Paw Patrol playing in the background. Nova already got picked up by her mom. I just play it so I'm not lonely in here. That sounds so depressing. No, it's a cute show. I like what's the fat little yellow bulldoggy thing's name? Is his name Rubble? I know there's Chase, Marshall. So Chase is the cop. Go figure. Um, and then Marshall is the Dalmatian firefighter. I think Rubble is the uh, chunky little English or French. No, he's an English bulldog. He's got to be. And then there is Sky, who is I would have to guess, just by looks and build, a Shih Tzu. That's just me, shooting from the hip. Here, everybody that's in here, put down your age, and I'm going to ask you about TV shows from your era. Or I want to know what 3 to 5 of your favorite TV shows of your era were. Because I'm from an era of like Gargoyles, Mighty Max, God, what else? The Tick. Space Ghost. Um, what else? God, there were so many good shows. Fuck, even Adult Swim, Squidbillies, none of this shit plays anymore. 27? Well, I'm 33, and yeah, those are like a kind of a quick shot out of the fucking cannon of mine, I guess. I'm still trying to think of a few more, but I liked the Super Mario cartoon, even though I think that was before my time. It would still air. Um, Fuck, I don't know. It's gonna drive me wild. Wayne Head. It was like a black dude with like one Forrest Gump style fucking leg brace on. Um, yeah, a lot of Nickelodeon. I guess same here too. Fairly Odd Parents. Um, there was Cow and Chicken. I was more of a Cartoon Network dude, but like Dexter's Lab, Cow and Chicken, Billy and Mandy with the Grim Reaper. And I think that's why I also was a big fan of like all the Adult Swim after hours stuff. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is supreme, I think, as far as cartoon animation and comedy goes. Uh, you have Futurama, you have Family Guy, American Dad, all those cutie little Seth Green skits. But I think Squidbillies, which is also Adult Swim, and I don't know, but like now I'm seeing all these. Yes, dude, Code. That's another good one. Code's name, cause yeah, God, that's a good one. Fuck, I don't know. I forgot about that one too. Adventure Time is still one of my favorites. I didn't watch it as a kid, but I love it as an adult. Actually, this girl that I dated named Athena was the reason that I even started watching it. I think it was like one of the first times I came over to her house. She put it on and then like grabbed a blanket and I was like, oh shit. And mind you, I was like 20, 24, 25, and it was at her parents' house. And then like one of the next times, she like invited me over for a bonfire, and I came over like fucked up on Xanax, passed out in the chair at the fire, and she somehow dragged me all the way up the steps. So embarrassing. Oh my god, so embarrassing. Probably still to this day one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. Besides that Diddy party I went to, those 12 times. Oh, if this pops off, dude, I might just have to transfer this into my small one. And I think it does. Y'all hang tight. This is going to be fun to watch. All right, so no, I don't read a ton. I probably should, honestly. Definitely wouldn't hurt to read a little more. just going to transfer everything that's in here into here because the fact that it's just glass is no bueno. I gotta get this thing over here, my bad. Butt patrol, whenever you're in trouble. Lots of chinky white men our age on the case. Look at me and my best friend. We like to call him Chase. Alright, so this will be interesting. Transfer 2 grams of oil into a Muhammad cart. Oh yeah. The last book I read was The Odyssey, and I loved it. And if I was gonna read a book, it would have to be something like that, just to keep my attention. First thing you gotta do is cover that hole when anything is happening. So what I do is I take a BB and I put it on there. Second thing I want to do is not have this tip over. So I have this. And in the middle is where I'm going to place this. And it should do a pretty fine job of holding it, I would think. Okay. Sorry. Then here, you take the cap off your cart. Now, the fun part, which actually isn't fun at all, it's fucking really nerve-wracking, is heating this so it moves. But this is glass, so another thing is I do little at a time. So it's just like welding at this point. And and with the ball, you can just have your distillate run directly from your cart that you're emptying onto the ball, and it should go directly down as you'd like. Quite convenient. And I will be saving this cart because it is still a good cart. It's brand new. It's just I don't like the inconvenience of it being glass. See? It's hard to tell because it's got the carbon from the lighter on. Here, I'll wipe it best I can. But it's not much left in there. Just down to about there, plus whatever's left on the walls. And you never want to keep it in one spot. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Got a little bit left in there, which is fine. In the business, we call that a rainy day. There you go. Now, the equally fun part, not, is reassembling this guy. Gratifying, yes. Pain in the ass, also yes. Just like that. Full. So much better. Smaller, convenient. This is the way. So, at very least you guys know how to do that now. Or know that with some carts, if you twist, you can undo them. Just be careful because sometimes it'll just go in through the top. Plus, honestly, I just like this because it's a Skywalker. And it's got two little spacecrafts in the corners. Okay. Fucker. Shit. motherfucker. Yeah, I guess we'll cancel this at the hour mark. But I appreciate everybody that stopped over. It's always cool shooting the shit with you guys. Do intend to, keep doing these lives a lot more often. Assuming that you have some people here. Um, but as always, hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you have a good Monday. I might go live a little bit later. We'll see how it goes. Comment if you want me to go live again. And that's how we'll do it. Love you guys. Stay sharp.